Good afternoon. Welcome in. It's Where the 99 Lead. It's a presentation of the University of Pikeville where we talk all things regarding the University of Pikeville. I'm Andrew Joyce, your host, and joined by a couple of distinguished guests this afternoon. President of the University of Pikeville, former Governor Paul Patton. Governor, welcome in.
Good to be here.
And, of course, State Representative Leslie Combs, a valued friend of not only Eastern Kentucky, Pike, Letcher, Harlan counties, but the university as well. Leslie, welcome in.
Thank you, Andrew. Glad to be here.
Of course, the University of Pikeville has been a happening place. With the arrival of Governor Patton, things seem to explode with enrollment and with excitement on the Hill. A now change in name of the university from Pikeville College to the University of Pikeville. New construction, trying to find bed space, and I know that's a daily challenge, but it's being met. Every challenge has been met. Late last fall, I guess early in the winter, there was talk of some changes as far as scholarships go for mountain students. That's what we want to talk about today, and that's the Kentucky Cole County College Completion Scholarship. I like this better, K4CS. We'll stick with that. And Governor Leslie, what is the Kentucky Cole County College Completion Scholarship at the University of Pikeville, and who's eligible?
Well, let me start out with a little history. You mentioned into the winter how this kind of got off the ground, and I'll do a little bit of history as to why we are where we're at today, and then let Governor Patton kind of pick up with more of the specifics of the scholarship program. As everyone is well aware, during the legislative session, me along with Speaker Stumbo, we had House Bill 260.
Sure.
And what House Bill 260 set out to do was make the University of Pikeville a public university, part of the state college university system. After much debate and discussion amongst various legislators, we kind of decided to put that idea on hold.
Sure.
For another day, that we would take that discussion up later. But in the meantime, we came up with a compromise resolution that was the scholarship program. Now, basically what it did, it took multi-county monies and from the coal-producing counties and took these students, whether they be traditional, non-traditional students, that wanted to complete a 4-year bachelor's degree. It provided the scholarship money, or what we like to refer to as equalization monies,
right.
An equalization scholarship, to that basically bring that tuition level down equal to what it would cost a student to go to Morehead, Eastern, or another state university. Now, what kind of brought all this about and brought the whole idea of us becoming a state university about is the fact that in southeast Kentucky particularly, in all of eastern Kentucky, statistically we have students. We have the numbers of students that go to college, that actually apply to go to college.
And succeed when they get there.
Well, but that's our issue.
Sure.
Most of them have to go away. And what we were finding out when going back and looking at that statistic was they were not graduating.
Right.
Okay. Now, so a lot came from the evolution of that knowledge, okay, of understanding what was going on there. So we know we have students. Our high schools are doing a good job of promoting the idea and making sure that students understand it's important to go to college.
Right.
But they would go away from home, and a lot of them wouldn't complete it. If they did complete it, they didn't necessarily come back home.
Yeah.
Okay, so throughout this process of going through the legislative session and trying to pass this legislation, the governor commissioned a study to actually find out if everything that we were saying was accurate and was
right.
true. And sure enough, that study came back and overwhelmingly justified the facts that Governor Patton and I and others have been putting out there, is that those statistics are there saying those kids want to go to school.
Sure.
Okay, and they are going to school. But what we found out is through that survey and surveying those students, they wanted to stay at home. They didn't want to go away because affordability becomes an issue and going away from home.
Sure.
Okay, there's an expense involved there besides the fact they wanted to stay at home and get that education. Now, we also know through this, and we've known prior to this, that our community and technical colleges are doing a great job. They're doing a great job with the associate's degree. Mm-hmm. What we want to do is increase that baccalaureate degree, because you've got your national average, the state falls below it, and our region falls well below that. Another thing, when you look at a map of where all the universities are located throughout the Commonwealth of Kentucky, it's obvious that there's a section over here a sector of the state that it clearly needs a state university or something to meet that need.
Sure.
Now, we went to the legislative session, and literally at the midnight hour, we had drafted it, we had amended it, we had agreed. We were actually up to 36, all of the coal-producing counties being eligible.
Right.
Okay, and those schools or those colleges and universities inside those 36 counties. Okay.
Yes.
But in that very last minute, that legislation was not called, and thus that House Bill 260 failed. So shortly thereafter, I mean within 24 to 48 hours after, there were several of us that put our heads together and we said, hey, the governor can still do this. We can still do this on a much smaller scale. So what he did was he authorized a pilot project, a demonstration project, to take a few coal counties and apply the same particulars that were in House Bill 260, do it the same way, and let's see if it would work. Mm-hmm. And I think we're very confident it will. And we want to thank Governor Beshear for giving us an opportunity to show that this will work and show that the need is there and show that students want to actually get a 4-year degree.
It all began with the idea that the University of Pikeville should be a state university to fill that void that the state universities have not. Because you, as you said, you look at the map, there's a void there. There are no state universities in this area. That's how it began. Is there chance, is there a hope that maybe this idea has been thrown out there now and somewhere down the road, 2 years from now, 4 years from now, that this would be brought up again?
Well, as Speaker Stumbo earlier today emphasized that he thinks it's the most important thing that could happen to Eastern Kentucky, and he is personally committed, as long as he has influence on the state level, to that is his goal, and I think he'll have influence for quite a while left. It is going to be difficult, and so this is, I guess we'd call a stopgap measure to at least try to equalize the tuition. Now, having a state university would mean more than just having equal tuition. There's just whole lots that a state university does that the University of Pikeville can't do, because the state university gets the state support for a lot of different community service activities. But this scholarship will, as Leslie said, for the students here on the Pikeville campus, in the junior and senior level only, it will bring our tuition down to about the same as you would experience at Moorhead or Eastern. And we're going to talk about an extension campus program in a moment. The tuition there will be comparable to a community college tuition. But let's back up and talk about the bigger picture, the importance of bachelor degrees. Statistically, a person with a bachelor degree on average will earn $1 million more in a lifetime than a person with just a high school diploma. Now, in my day, and maybe even your day, Andrew, a high school diploma was considered enough for most people.
Sure.
It's not today. Every young person needs to go to college to prepare themselves for something in the workforce. And our community colleges have lots of programs that can lead to a good career. And, of course, our 4-year universities do also. And so statistically, about 30% of our jobs in the U.S. economy need to have a bachelor degree. About 30% need to have an associate degree at a community college. And while 40% of the jobs can still be done with only a high school education, those are the low-paying jobs. So if you want to put yourself in a better position to get a more livable wage, go to college. My message to every high school student in all of Kentucky: go to college. Doesn't have to be Pikeville. It can be a community college. It can be UK. Go to college. And we need to get that message out there. That's the central message. In the United States, now let's talk about the bachelor degree. Well, let me back up and say, our students do go to college.
Sure.
Our students go to college at a higher rate than the rest of the state, because we know we have to have that. But we're really well served with our community college. They do a great job. And the students, as Leslie said, they want to stay home. And the only option they have at home, basically at an affordable rate, is the community college. And so they take what's available. What about the bachelor degree that I talked about that's worth $1 million? In the United States, about 28% of the high school graduates get a bachelor degree within 6 years. Kentucky, it's about 22%,
Right.
which is 6% below the national average. But in this area, it's closer to 12%.
Staggering.
Now, when the rest of the nation is getting bachelor degrees at 28%, and we're getting bachelor's degrees at 12%, we'll never catch up. And so fundamentally, that's what the governor saw, that's what the governor approved, and that's what this program will do. On the Pikeville campus, well, first of all, let me tell you what you have to do to be qualified. It's real simple. There are only 2 requirements to be qualified for this scholarship. That you have graduated from one of the 23 high schools in these 9 counties.
Yes.
And you have at least 60 hours of college credit that will lead to a bachelor degree. That's it. No other details. That's all. If you have those 2 things, you're qualified for a scholarship that could be as much as $6,820. So I want to urge everybody out there that's looking, that meet that criteria, say, boy, if I can get $6,800 toward a scholarship, plus other scholarships that are available, I better take advantage of it. And so I hope that's what people would do. Here on the Pikeville campus,
Yes.
for all of the juniors and seniors that are on our campus, that are from these 23 high schools, they're going to get a reduced tuition this fall.
Immediately.
Even the ones that were here and are coming back. But the bigger thing I want to talk about is the extension campuses. And we will establish an extension campus in 9 counties that we're serving. 7 of them will be with community colleges, and a couple of them in Martin and McGoffin will be someplace else. But those programs will be offered for a non-traditional student or a traditional student. They will be weekends. They will be maybe evening courses, or maybe a compressed day course. So I want to urge anybody that thinks they might remotely be interested in learning about this, get on the University of Pikeville website. We have a place there where you can come to find out about the K4CS, the Kentucky Cole County College Completion Scholarship. That's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful.
K4CS or KC4S works out. K4CS works out a lot better. So find out more about that. We're going to be offering 2 different bachelor degrees this fall. We want to know what the students want. We want to know what time that they would like to go to class, and how much internet, how much online learning that they want to get involved with. So there's a website there where they can do a survey and let us have that information. Within the next week or 2, we'll decide. But on August the 20th, we're going to start classes in every one of these 9 counties towards a bachelor degree. And we want to get as many students as we can participating.
It's a fast-moving program. You're tuned to Where the 99 Leads. We're talking with the president of the University of Pikeville, former Governor Paul Patton, State Representative Leslie Combs, who's been instrumental in the K4CS scholarship program, the extension campuses as well. Governor, I know there have been forums throughout the 9-county area where students, parents, those interested could get information about this program. You mentioned the website, of course, upike.edu. How has the reception been in these communities of these extension campuses and these forums?
The community leaders have been very excited because they realize that while many students go away for a college education, many more do not. And the fact of the matter is, and the community colleges have proven, that if the college education is available in their hometown, where they can stay at home, where they can commute at not an unreasonable distance, they will take advantage of it. But there's just so many students that don't want to or really can't afford to leave home. So with these extension campuses, a student can graduate high school, they can enroll in a community college in their hometown with the goal of getting a bachelor's degree. After the first 2 years of community college, they can stay on the same campus at the same tuition rate and get a bachelor's degree from the University of Pikeville seamlessly. That is the most economical way to get a bachelor's degree. And we're talking about the traditional high school student.
Sure.
And that's the best thing for a student to do when they finish high school is go ahead and take those 4 years and get that bachelor's degree. But many of our students, for various reasons, don't do that. Maybe they go 2 years and then they have to work, or for some reason they don't finish. So this should be designed for what we call the non-traditional student, a student that may be 25 or 30 years old or older. Those people have a job. They have a family.
Yeah.
They can't go to Moorhead. They can't go to Richmond. They can't go to Lexington.
Right.
If it's not available, and they can't drive 60 or 75 miles. So if they don't have it in their hometown, they're just not going to do it. This program makes it available in their hometown. And there is a way, while the normal load will be 12 college semester hours per semester over 4 semesters over 2 years. That's a big load for someone that's holding out a job or trying to have a lot of family responsibilities.
Sure.
A non-traditional student can actually split that in half. They can take a half load for 4 years and get their bachelor's degree. And that way they have a better chance to go ahead and work a full 40-hour week or take care of family responsibilities. But the big thing is, at this formative stage, we need to know what the student wants. And so that's the reason we're asking students to go to the website, upike.edu, that you talked about. There's a survey there, I think a 3 or 4 question survey, to let us know what you want to do and how you want to do it and what times you want to do it. And then we're going to schedule the program to meet the needs of as many of those students as we can. Right now we're in contact with about 200 students that have expressed some kind of interest. We would like to get at least 100 students enrolled in this program at the extension campuses this fall. Then next fall, as we start talking to students in the community college, we think that will increase. So this is a new program, as Leslie said. It's a pilot program. We're trying to figure out what works and what the people want, and then make a report to the General Assembly and to the governor in preparation for the 2014 session. I believe that the interest that Leslie and Greg Stumbo have created in this subject throughout the area means that in 2014 we'll get a much broader program that will be much more inclusive of counties and inclusive of other institutions. So we're laying the groundwork, and we think this could make a fundamental difference in Eastern Kentucky 25 years from now.
You mentioned big picture and the value of a bachelor's degree being $1 million over the course of a lifetime. It's hard to imagine the economic impact that this would have. This is not about Pikeville. It's not about the University of Pikeville, Pike County even, but it's about all of Eastern Kentucky. And then that 9-county area, it's a huge economic impact with each student that would come through this program.
The more citizens we have with a bachelor's degree in business or in healthcare management or in criminal justice, it will make those systems work more efficiently. It will grow the economy.
Sure.
A highly educated population benefits everybody.
Absolutely.
A lot of times, an educated population creates its own economic development too.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's kind of just an offset from it, and that's what you hope to have happen. Andrew, one of the things I'm not sure, we keep referring to the 9-county areas. Have we mentioned the 9 counties?
I wasn't sure if either of you had that in front of you. I didn't want to put you on the spot.
I do have it, and now I'm trying to remember if I've got it memorized. So we've got Pike, Letcher, Harlan, Bell, Floyd, McGoffin, Martin, Johnson, and Knott.
Correct.
God,
good job.
That was pretty nice.
Those are the 9 major coal-producing counties. They contribute 70% of the coal severance tax money anyway.
Sure.
And so it was felt that the students from this area needed to start this program, and then if it's successful, expand it to, as far as I'm concerned, all the students from the coal-producing counties.
Leslie, as a state representative, you dealt with the legislation on a daily basis, many hours spent. And there was some dissension about the funding for this program. Initially with the university status becoming a state university, initially dissension there, and I guess more so. Did you meet the same type of objections when you tried to find funding for the K4CS program?
Well, we mainly worked that out through the governor and through his office and with his folks. But let me go back again and kind of tell a little bit more of the inside of what was happening there. When we first came up with the idea to make University of Pikeville part of the state system, obviously we got a lot of pushback from other state universities, and because they're all fighting for every dollar they can get right now.
Turf battles
that's
as
right.
well.
And they basically saw their funding diminish as we would come into that.
Sure.
So the secondary idea came along that we would take multi-county monies and thus fund and still include University of Pikeville into the state system. But there was a lot of concern expressed by our counties at that point, because the idea was they want a state university.
Yes.
Okay, that's solidified across all of our Eastern Kentucky counties.
Yes.
Okay, they think we deserve one, but they think we deserve it the same way that the rest of the state has it.
Yes.
And why should we have to pay for it ourselves?
Right.
Now, we obviously saw that argument, and we're basically trying to get ourselves introduced to the system and show our worthiness and that there was a need for it. But we had a lot of pushback from our various counties on having to fund it ourselves. Okay, they wanted the institution, they wanted a public institution, but they didn't want to pay for it.
Right.
Now, the idea of going to the scholarship program has been a lot more palatable for some of them, because they see that money. This money is going to individual students. Okay, it's not going per se to the University of Pikeville.
Right.
Okay, it's going to them for their financial aid package. So as we started introducing that to various counties, they really liked that idea, and they saw the need for that, and they saw their individual students benefiting from that. Now, I know that since the governor okayed this 9-county pilot project, I've had a lot of legislators who were part of the original 16-county idea, and then later, like I said, 36-county idea.
Yes.
But particularly from the 16-county idea, have come to me here in just the last couple of weeks since this has been announced and said, how do we get in on it? Help us. How do we get in on it? And what I keep telling them is that's where we hope to go.
Right.
Okay. Let us see if we can. Let's get this out on outside the drawing board into the actual active stage. Let's get all the kinks worked out, and we'll be there because we want to make this happen, because we think it's important for all of our students.
You're tuned to Where the 99 Lead. You're talking with the president of the University of Pikeville, former Governor Paul Patton, State Representative Leslie Combs. And Governor, you've been known as the education governor, I guess, since the 90s. It's a passion of yours. You realize the benefit of Eastern Kentucky and the quality of life in Eastern Kentucky. Now, you've been involved with the University of Pikeville for a lot of years as a member of the Board of Trustees, and now as president, and I guess in the future we can say as chancellor of the University of Pikeville, as the reins will be handed over, we understand, July 13th. The Extension Campus program, I guess we first talked in December of 2011, late night phone call. Just wanted to give you a heads up that tomorrow we will talk about the University of Pikeville becoming a state university. That's only been about 6 months ago that this process has taken place, from state university to now the scholarship program for the Cole County College Completion Scholarship, which I think is a tremendous boost to students in Eastern Kentucky. You're talking 9 extension campuses in these 9 county areas. How big of a challenge is that from the time this legislation, or from the time Governor Beshear, he said, here's the money? How big of a challenge is it to get these extension campuses rolling, staffing, faculty, and get the information out and get those cranked up by, you said, August 20th?
It's a tremendous challenge. Last week we've been to all 9 counties and talked to the leaders and the students in those counties. In a week or so, we're going to decide exactly what we're going to do, exactly when we're going to do it, and exactly how we're going to do it. And then we will start enrolling students. And the big challenge is we have to develop a faculty.
Sure.
Dean Hess at the university will have to get out and find people to teach the courses that we're going to offer. So it's going to be a challenge. But you mentioned the fact that I've been known as the education governor, and I have, and I'm very proud of that. But really, I'm a jobs governor.
Yeah.
If you'll go to my campaign, when I asked the people of Kentucky to let me be governor and lieutenant governor, in
Yes.
fact, it was a jobs, because that's what people are looking for. But you don't have to be a jobs governor very long to realize that you're really talking about education. A direct correlation. Our population is not as well educated as the rest of Kentucky or as the rest of the United States.
Right.
Direct correlation. Our per capita income is not as high as the rest of Kentucky and the rest of the United States. And so it is a chicken and egg situation. You have to have educated people before you can attract companies to come, or before you can develop companies locally that are the higher tech and pay the higher wages. But then you have to have the jobs to induce people to get the education. But education has to lead. When it comes to chicken or the egg, the education has to come first. And our students deserve the opportunity to have a quality in education, convenient to them, at a price comparable to the state-supported universities. That's a fundamental right, and we don't have it right now. And the statistics are obvious. And if we had had a state-supported university for the last 90 years, like Moorhead and Eastern and Bowling Green and Murray and other places have had, our economy would look totally different.
Sure.
And 25 years from now, if this program succeeds, our people will be totally different.
They say the only way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time. It seems with this K4CS scholarship, a huge bite has been taken out of the elephant. Classes begin this fall for students in the scholarship program, and the extension campuses will be open. You say as much as $6,800 per student, balancing the tuition load for our students to balance with the other state universities from the 9-county area. It's a tremendous program, and congratulations on where it is now. I know that you will continue to work towards bigger and better things, and to improve the educational opportunities for our students. And Leslie, I know you will as well. You've shown that in your time in Frankfort representing us.
Can I say one other thing about an important aspect of
Sure.
the University of Pikeville, and that is, and it's important in any college institution, and that is student services. That's another thing here. Besides the offerings, going out and actually engaging with our students at each of these extension campuses, as well as right here, that's ultimately important in the college experience, and that's why I think we're so excited about it, because we're not just going to educate them, we're going to give them the full college experience.
Sure.
of what they should have.
And that's what they deserve.
Mm-hmm.
Our mountain students deserve the same as those on other campuses.
And I will have to say that Leslie and Greg Stumbo deserve a tremendous amount of credit. They've been a bulldog. Yes, there was some opposition, and it was pretty strong opposition, and weaker people could have said, well, let's forget it, but they haven't. They've persevered, and the governor has been faithful, and this program is going to start, and it's going to be successful, and it's going to lead to even more education in the future.
Just another bit of excitement to the University of Pikeville campus, as the University of Pikeville campus, I guess, goes 9 new directions this fall as well to those extension campuses. State Representative Leslie Combs, thanks for all you do for education for the people of Eastern Kentucky, and of course former Governor Paul Patton, our president at the University of Pikeville. Thanks for all you do. We look forward to another exciting school year.
It's been a real pleasure to work on the Hill.
Of course, the Kentucky K4CS Scholarship, it is available this fall. If you'd like to learn more about the program, call the UPike Admissions and Financial Aid Office. That number, 218-5295, or you can visit the website, www.upike.edu. You've been tuned to Where the 99 Lead. It's your scholarship, your time, your university, UPike. Good afternoon.